Hello. Today we're going to learn about test statistics. Most specifically, we're going to learn about the z-statistic, which isn't any different than our z-score that we've been looking at before. For our test statistic, we're finding values that show how far a value is from the estimated mean. So how many standard error units or standard deviation units. So we each take a value minus the mean over a standard error. For instance, if we wanted to find our z-statistic in the paramedic example. All right, so to do our z-statistic, we have to assume that the null hypothesis is true. So what I'm going to do is draw a normal distribution, assuming that our null hypothesis is true. And in our paramedic example, 6.7 was last year's mean, so that's our null hypothesis. Now, our alternative hypothesis was that it reduced the time. So since we reduced the time, we're just going to check on the bottom end down here. When we looked at this, we found a mean of 6.48. So our goal with our test statistic is which value, what's our z-score for that value. So we take our z is our x value, 6.48, minus our mean over our standard deviation. Now our standard deviation is 2 divided by the square root of n, and in this case our n is 400. So our z-statistic, if we plug this in our calculator, I got a value of negative 2.2. All right, we'll try one more. Now, according to the National Institute on Occupational Safety and Health, job stress poses a major threat to the health of workers. A national survey of restaurant employees found that 75% said that work stress had a negative impact on their personal lives. Now, they took a random sample of 100 employees from a large restaurant chain and found that 68 answers yes to the question. Find that z-statistic. So now we're dealing with a proportion. So we're still dealing with z. We're going to take our initial our proportion from our sample minus our null proportion, which is our population, divided by our standard error. So our standard error is going to be, remember, for a proportion, it's p times 1 minus p over n, and then square root it. There we go. And so what we have to do here is our p is 0.75. So we're going to take 0.75 times 0.25 over 100 and square root it. So plugging this into our calculator, I got a z-score of negative 1.616. So let's just call it negative 1.62. All right. Hopefully that allows us to do some on your own.